You step off a noisy, concrete street in modern Budapest and find yourself swallowed by the 19th century. You're met with a sudden, blinding flash of Venetian chandeliers, marble columns, and ceilings dripping in 24-karat gold. This hall has earned the title, the most beautiful cafe in the world. However, this overwhelming architecture was originally engineered for a specific kind of corporate intimidation. In 1894, the American-based New York Life Insurance Company decided to build a palatial headquarters here. They needed a structure that projected absolute, immovable wealth to a city undergoing an explosive, high-stakes golden age. The resulting cafe was a byproduct of that ambition. It stood as a 4-story architectural monument to global financial supremacy, designed to awe every citizen who walked past its facade. Despite that intimidating luxury, the space was immediately hijacked by the exact opposite crowd, Budapest's penniless artists and bohemian writers. The tone was set on opening night in 1894 by figures like the playwright Ferenc Molnar. These writers moved in, essentially turning the insurance company's lobby into their own personal, high-end workshop. Legend has it that as the opening celebrations stretched into the early hours of the morning, Molnar and a group of fellow bohemians stole the cafe's front door keys. He led his friends to the banks of the Danube River and hurled the keys into the water. If the cafe had no keys, he reasoned, it could never close, forcing it to serve as a 24-hour incubator for Hungarian literature. The insurance firm provided the marble, but the writers provided the soul. By refusing to let the doors close, these artists turned a corporate landmark into a sanctuary. That era of intellectual freedom ended when the Belle Epoque crashed into the devastation of World War II. The Austro-Hungarian architecture took heavy damage during the siege of Budapest. Artillery fire left the exterior scarred. In the post-war years, it was rebranded as the Grand Hotel Hungaria, stripping away its identity. Behind the shattered windows, the gilded interior fell into total disrepair. The hall that once hosted the city's elite was gutted and filled with rubble. Under the communist regime, the palace was repurposed for sheer utility. The space where poets once wrote served as a state-run sporting goods store. During its buffet era, remaining architectural details were painted over in drab colors. The gold leaf and frescoes were hidden beneath layers of gray paint. Political and ideological shifts systematically erased the most beautiful cafe. It had become a utilitarian ghost, a shadow of its former self. The recovery began in 2006 when the Boscolo Group acquired the building. Specialized restoration teams painstakingly arrived to reverse the decades of damage. They peeled back the gray paint to reveal the original 24-karat gold stucco and a brilliant Venetian frescoes hidden underneath. As the walls were restored, the kitchen launched its own revival through essential Hungarian gastronomy, reimagining traditional recipes with the same precision as the architects. You see this precision in the Dobostort. It requires 6 exact tiers of alternating sponge and chocolate buttercream, topped with tempered caramel. The Esterházy and Soccer cakes follow similar ratios, balancing walnut sponge and apricot jam to meet the empire's strict standards. This menu represents an edible restoration of the Austro-Hungarian Empire's meticulous artistry. To enter the cafe today is to enter a theater of sound. A live pianist plays throughout the day, joined every hour by a traditional gypsy band. This constant musical pulse dictates the pacing of the entire hall, turning the simple act of drinking coffee into a sensory performance. Today's luxury comes with a price, like the 24-karat gold-flecked cappuccinos. The wealthy travelers now filling the tables represent a massive shift from the penniless poets who first defined the space. That premium price funds the orchestrations required to keep this history alive, paying for the constant live music and the preservation of the gilded surroundings. When you look out at the Danube today, it's easy to picture the legend of those stolen keys resting somewhere on the riverbed. While the physical keys are lost, the spirit of Molnar's wish was ultimately fulfilled by the cafe's survival. Modern visitors interact with a palimpsest, a place where layers of history are visible all at once. You are sitting where billionaires, bohemians, and communist bureaucrats all left their mark. The New York Café functions as a timeless time machine, that in defiance of war and time, has truly never closed its doors.